overtime.
A weird setup.
Oh, yeah.
Izzo.
I don't mind it though.
I'm gonna have this flashing. Do we need to have a like a strobe warning? Because I watched.
Yeah, I gotta put something up there for that.
What is that? Christmas?
Oh, I do have some Christmas lights here. Yeah, because my movie premiered last night on Hallmark Channel, The Santa Summit, and it'll re-air on Friday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard.
Oh wow! So it's you.
Rave reviews.
I'm not gonna lie. I know you said something about Hallmark, but I really didn't even hear what you said because this thing was blasting in my ears. But I didn't.
Yeah, sorry. I was listening. I was listening to Russ. I haven't watched it yet. I'm going to though. I swear. My wife and I were talking about putting up the Christmas tree today. So this weekend,
man, go watch Russ's show, man. His movie. Oh man, I didn't mean to retweet that. Man, we got a lot to talk about, man. 1-0 though. We're 1-0. 1-0.
1-0.
We are 1-0. Give me a couple of seconds.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to put something on that'll have like a little more light. I don't know. Maybe this will work. Oh, that might be all right. Yeah, it'll blink on and off a little bit. The Spencer Hubbard era. It's his world. We're just living in it.
Grant said, "Good night, fellas." Hey, Michigan State is down, man. We need Michigan State to win that game, though. So I hope y'all rooting for Duke. All right.
Yeah, they'll play again before we play. Right? They've got at least one more game.
Well, yeah, I doubt it's. I don't know. I don't really care. I mean, it makes it worse if we lose to them. If they lose, I guess. But I guess when you're Russ looking at it too, like you gotta look at strength of schedule here too, and you don't when you're scheduling Michigan State and stuff, you don't expect that loss to potentially or that win to not be that big of a win come March.
So it's on Big Ten.
Need Michigan State to be good.
Oh man, I see the comments coming in already about we got a lot to talk about. We'll jump right in after the intro. You feel me?
Trying not to score everything. We got about 33s or something.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of felt that. We kind of feed off that energy.
This place is amazing. Like I really love Duke, and I love the atmosphere I'm in here.
Mark Williams, beast mode. Paolo first half, he had the cramping stuff. Fair enough. Beast mode. Beast mode. Beast mode is always good, dude. I was stoked, man.
That was a classic. I had to put that in the intro. And shout out to that moment right there.
And to Paolo, talking about that game on, he retweeted your comment about it and said if he had Pedialyte, he would have dropped 40.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Shout out Paolo, man. I don't know how Paolo just be finding my tweets, but like he don't follow me, but he always be finding my tweets. Shout out to him.
Yeah, he's out there.
But yeah, we are 1-0. 1-0. Get the W's in the chat. Get the W's in the chat. Not the prettiest win. We won by 40, and it wasn't the prettiest win. That's the crazy part to me. But at the end of the day, it's a win. You could be Louisville losing 1-point games. You could be Carolina in dog fights with Radford. But
Louisville won for the record. They pulled off the upset.
Louisville won.
UMBC. Yes, correct.
Louisville won. Or Michigan State in a dogfight right now with James Madison. But yeah, Ryan, give us your thoughts, man, on game one.
Yeah, I think the two things that jumped out to me actually, Flip just coming back, and I get his Dartmouth and stuff, but just picking up right where he left off, looked super healthy, looked good. So like absolutely no concerns there. And I think like just him going out and dropping a casual 25, I don't feel like we talked about it a lot on Twitter, and he just kind of Kyle being Kyle. So that was cool. And then the other thing I wanted to mention that another thing I noticed but didn't get mentioned a lot is the fouls. I think at one point we had 17 fouls, so they're 11, kind of a little sloppier play on the defensive end. Their backdoor cuts, they were torching a number of guys with those. and then just the sloppy fouls. So cleaning up those sorts of things when you have a couple big games ahead of you with some really good guard play between the two teams, have to step that up. But great game.
What's so funny?
Watching this James Madison, they just scored. They're up 2 with under a minute left in overtime.
Oh yeah, I saw it.
He waltzed in too. He waltzed in. That real gritty, that lunch pail bad defense by Michigan State with the game on the line.
Oh yeah, I forgot to say. Definitely shout out to the Field of 68. Of course, we are on the second channel today. If you are on Twitter, I saw someone say the Twitter commenting is off. It's not off. It's just you have to be have Twitter blue. It's Elon Musk. Blame Elon Musk. But if you want to come comments, if you want to come comment, just join the YouTube link. And obviously, shout out to our listeners on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Please rate and subscribe. We will have 3 episodes in the next week. So, a lot of content coming for y'all. But yeah, jump in, y'all.
Yeah, definitely subscribe and download those podcasts on Apple Podcasts. We love that. And hit a thumbs up in the YouTube here. Like it for the people. Yeah, I mean, Ryan brought up Flip. I mean, I think you got to bring up Tyrese Proctor as well. I mean, just casually doing an 8 assist to 1 turnover game. Good defense. Again, exactly what we expect there. Jeremy Roach, not good defense. We'll talk about the defense more later. But good. What am I wrong? I didn't say anything wrong.
Why is that the first thing you said, bro?
No. Hold on. I was he had great mid-range offense. He again 3 assists to 0 turnovers. It's exactly what you need from a senior leader. He got to his spots. He also didn't really force any shots. Like he forced maybe like 1, but 11 shots. A lot of them were really good looks. He had a couple of threes that really should have gone in and normally will. I really liked the way that he played tonight. I mean, again, we were 18 assists to 9 turnovers. You like that. You got to give a shout out to Jalen Blakes. I mean, MVP level effort from Jalen Blakes, the Charlie Day of Duke basketball, causing absolute chaos out there. There is genuinely nothing I love more than when Jalen Blakes is cooking, man. It is the absolute best. Caleb Foster played really beautifully. Really, again, he's a freshman. You would expect him to force a couple of shots. He did early, but then really got in control, got downhill with ease. And because he's my guy, I have to talk about Sean Stewart. Put up a plus 12 in 9 minutes of play. I mean, I don't think that's a coincidence. The defense looked really good when he was out there. He was really good in position. Screens he was setting were hard. He was jumping around. He almost got hurt, but then he didn't, thank God. Love Sean Stewart. A lot of good things to see from this game.
Yeah, I guess I want to go straight to Sean Stewart. Me personally. Oh wow. Michigan State lost.
Cooked, dude. They're cooked.
Michigan State lost. Wow.
They're cooked. They're cooked.
That top 5 matchup next week is turning into a top maybe unranked.
A gritty lunch pail loss, a gritty blue collar loss by Tom Izzo.
Oh man!
Wow, dude.
Yeah. I wonder what was the spread on this game.
What a joke. I ranted last time about the blue collar, we're a blue collar team thing, and this is just textbook, man. You know what I mean? They're filled with 5 stars and 4 stars, and JMU waltzes in and beats them on their own court. I mean, it's not over. I guess anything could happen, but
Zion, what were your thoughts?
What a shot. Anyway, sorry.
I mean, first of all, Michigan State, this makes me mad. This is Tyson Walker has his hands on his head. It makes me mad because I needed this to be a top 5 matchup just for our sake. But I mean, now we really have to pound Michigan State that. We got to beat them by 20 now. I don't care.
We're probably not going to beat them by 20, but it'd be nice.
Yeah, it's not. Tom Izzo will have his guys fight at least, but we'll take care of them.
For
Sean Stewart, man,
5-star teams, it's these gritty blue collar teams that this gritty blue collar Michigan State team has trouble with.
But back to Duke. Sean Stewart, I don't get it, man. I'll preface this with it's game 1.
You mean you don't get why he's not playing more?
Yeah, I don't get why he's not playing more. Because I felt like Mark Mitchell. Once Mark Mitchell was out, we kind of lost our, I guess, athletic edge, our versatility edge. That's where you could slide Sean Stewart in. You saw him jumping passing lanes today. He's an elite lob threat, and I mean, I guess we got to talk about it. But Ryan Young, man, I respect his leadership and what he brings to this team. I will always say that. I respect how he's can bring a mature presence to our team, but at some point, when can we say, like, number one, our offense is not best when Ryan Young is? I don't care what the numbers say. I don't care what numbers you show me. I don't care what shot quality numbers you show me, Russ. Our offense is best. Will be best this year when we're up and down running, playing with pace, and just having spacing. And you'll see with spacing, Caleb Foster opens up stuff like Caleb Foster getting to the rim at will. And it opens up stuff like Flip has, room to operate down low. Opens up if Sean Stewart's in, we have a lob option, and that could open up stuff offensively. I just don't get it while we're stuck on the two big lineup. Like, we gotta move on from that. I don't mind it in spurts, especially when we have to, sometimes Reeves is gonna have to play, so he's gonna have to play next to Flip, and vice versa with Ryan. But we're a team that can play fast, small, and with tempo. We don't have to wait for Ryan Young to have position in the paint and throw the ball down into him and hope he gets a bucket. We don't need that for this team. And for guys that are in their second year, Tyrese, second year, Flip, second year, Roach, fourth year. Like, why are we so reliant on that?
Yeah, well, I think, and I do want to preface the fact that I don't know if Young would have played as much tonight if Mark Mitchell wasn't hurt. So, like, we can hound on it. I want to give Shire a little bit of a break there because it sounded like it was a game time decision with the sprained ankle. So didn't have much time to figure stuff out. I'm sure there was a rotation going into the tonight that they were planning on using, and that had to get thrown out the window. So tough to take this small sample size and say it's how it's going to be throughout the whole year, but. Man, that was I think Sean Stewart should have gotten burned right away, and I've defended Ryan Young these last 2 years or this last season, and so no, it didn't make any sense to not try Sean Stewart there, and kind of just make him be your Mark Mitchell for the night type thing. So
I think Ryan Young has obvious value as a 10 to 12 minute a game kind of guy.
Yes.
Like, I think he brings very, very obvious value in that situation. But when he's playing 20 minutes a game, and when we're playing our pace of game around his style, I think that's pretty tough. I mean, we averaged last year 64.9 possessions a game. And what did we do today? Probably like 65, 66. We did 66. Yeah. I mean, we should be sprinting against Dartmouth. Like, we just should. I kind of wondered whether maybe we're planning on playing slower against Arizona because Arizona is so incredibly comfortable with sprinting. It's how they play constantly. And so maybe we were just looking to do more tempo setting now, practice for Friday. That's a theory, but that's the best theory I have. I think we should be running more, and Sean Stewart should be the 7th or 8th man in the rotation. I think that goes without saying.
Yeah, and like I said, it's game one. So, maybe it's Shire feeling out his team. Maybe it's Shire just saying, okay, Mark Mitchell was a last minute scratch. Michigan State has lost officially now. Wow.
They didn't even get a shot off, man.
The Dukes.
So
Duke and then the Dukes. We love it.
I just don't know how I feel about this, man. I wanted a top 5 matchup, man.
You gotta like it. You gotta like
it for college basketball,
dude. Who cares?
Listen, Russ, you yourself, Mr. Resume Man, Mr. Quad 1 wins.
It'll still be a Quad 1 win. It'll be a Quad 1A win. There's still gonna be a top 2 seed, 3 seed in the tournament. On a neutral court. It's going to be a very big game. I'm not worried about that. I'm just enjoying them getting embarrassed on night one because I think that's very funny. And that's all it boils down to. It's funny. Same way that if Louisville had lost, or if some of these ACC teams, it's better for them to win for our strength of schedule. But it's also very funny when they lose. So I can't not enjoy that,
Right.
I wanted, because we were still talking, just to put a pin on the Ryan Young thing and a pin on the defense thing in general. Of the people who played heavy minutes, Tyrese, Kyle, and Caleb all had 30 plus minus, and then Jeremy Roach and Ryan Young were at 23 and 24. Right. I think that breaks down pretty closely with defensively what we saw happening in the game. Right. And I think that those are the things that we're going to see going forward. They're going to try to backdoor cut us because we don't have a Derek Lively back there. So they're going to backdoor cut us all day, especially these 5 out teams. They're going to try and drag whoever is biggest out and then backdoor cut to death. They're going to try to make those backdoor cuts specifically against the freshman. Jared McCain was getting targeted. His guy was doing a lot of the backdoor cutting. And then in ISO possessions, guards and wings are going to try to get switches on to Jeremy Roach and Jared McCain and try to go to town on. The Ron Weasley dude was trying to take Jeremy Roach and Jared McCain with very, very good success all night, right? Like they're working hard out there. I'm not saying they're like slacking. And certainly McCain, it's his first game. So there's going to be a learning curve there with the speed and the strength of college versus high school. But yeah, I think that's just going to be what we're going to see against every single team's offense all season long. Backdoor cut, target the smaller guards.
I do think Mark Mitchell makes a big difference in that. I mean, last year he did get obviously have his struggles last year with backdoor cuts, but I feel like his ability to protect the rim at his size a little, not obviously.
You're talking replacing Ryan Young minutes with Mark Mitchell minutes. Yes, that would make a very large difference on the defense. Yes, correct.
And I do think Flip, although Flip is solid on the perimeter, I think Flip can be solid enough protecting the rim, at least better than Ryan Young can. But I don't want to make this Ryan Young, analyzing game. A lot of positives. This was a 40-point win. A
lot of positives.
A lot of positives. I think definitely even Caleb Foster, a great game. Flip, man. Yeah. Flip, is this going to be a National Player of the Year candidate right here? If you get 25 and 27 with ease, I don't care who you playing.
Pretty efficient too there, huh? 10 to 12. Not bad.
He was getting such good looks from Proctor. Proctor and Flip's chemistry was just today. I mean, again, this is a team in Dartmouth that is not good on defense, but like Proctor just was picking them apart, just having fun with them. I mean, I thought that was really great. I'd love to see better defensive rebounding. Definitely suffered without Mark Mitchell out there. And you would think with Ryan Young out there that the rebounding would not be a problem. But like this is a Dartmouth team that was like 325th in offensive rebounding last year. They got 10 rebounds on the offensive glass. Like we only got 5. I mean, the rebounding, we were only +4 rebounding. Like we should not be only +4 rebounding against this team. And it was even until garbage time. Like we should be beating a team like that on the glass. So that's definitely something to watch against Arizona and Michigan State, how we do on the glass. Maybe that was just taking this team a little for granted. It's game 1 in that respect, not in general. But Arizona, Michigan State might be a different story.
Yeah.
Wally's wrong. Wally's wrong, by the way.
Yeah.
Wally's wrong.
Wally's very wrong. For those listening on the podcast, a commenter named Wally says, Flip couldn't block a toddler's shot. Let's be real. How is 7 foot so bad at shot blocking? Actually,
he blocked a shot tonight.
I see him blocking right off the rip.
And Dartmouth was taking them out to the free throw line. How is he going to block shots when he's guarding a guy that's on the free throw line or on the perimeter? You can't. And then you can't play him in drop coverage against Dartmouth because they're going to shoot threes.
And I don't know if the block was on, but I know the first possession Sean Stewart was in. Flip had a nice, at least help side recovery where he affected the shot. I don't think he necessarily has to block the shot. He's 7 foot, at the end of the day. Yeah. So, he's going to be.
He's just got to be big,
imposing enough. Yeah.
Yeah, just be big and play the 5, and Mark will be the 4, or we could bust out Sean Stewart from time to time. What did you two think of the Christian Reeves minutes?
I mean, they were fine. I tweeted about it, like his potential is there. Like you can see it in flashes, and he just seems like he's lacking the anticipation out there right now when it comes out coming off of ball screens and recovering. I just don't think he's kind of got that all there, and that just comes with experience. So I think he's like a promising future, but I just don't see it for this season.
I got a text from Dom saying Christian is the key.
Dom was saying that last year too, wasn't
he? Same as Russ calling Schutt the breakout player this year.
Yeah, well, that's a different conversation. But
no.
Yeah, I thought that Reeves was okay in spots, but the game just still looks a little fast for him. And I'd like those screens that he sets to be a little more set, a little more confident. It says Reeves is Nas says Reeves is still a tad bit slow in the pick and roll defense. He actually acquitted himself a little better on that front than I thought, but maybe it was just because we were watching Ryan Young do it and Reeves was doing okay in that respect, just because he's so much bigger. But I kind of thought in the pick and roll offense, I just wanted those screens to be a little harder, a little more confident. But maybe he's just not getting the reps with those guards to have that chemistry there. I don't know. He's a work in progress. I think he's got great potential, but like Ryan said, I agree. Just not this year, except in fits and starts. I would rather have Sean Stewart in the rotation ahead of him.
Yeah, I mean, I think Reeves. The plus side for Reeves for me is he didn't. He wasn't like a negative in his minutes. No. He was feasible, and he was feasible, and it wasn't a good matchup for him necessarily. A team that plays five out is not going to be a great matchup for Reeves. It's not going to be a great matchup for Ryan Young. But the fact he wasn't a negative in those minutes, I think, is a plus. We just got to use him, I think, in the right matchups where we do need him. But yeah, preferably I would still want Sean Stewart to be the first big off the bench. But like we said, it's game one, so Friday will be kind of the test where we see, okay, what's the rotation with your back against the wall. But also we got to talk about, because I saw it early in the show.
Wally Flip was top 20 in block rate in the ACC last year, man, with Lively blocking most of the shots. Flip will be
he commented. I think there's supposed to be a Jaden. Let's talk Jaden.
Sure.
Jaden Schutt.
Yeah.
What is I don't know.
You know, when they didn't put him in at the end, two things came to mind. It was like, one, want to get the freshman out there for longer, blah, blah, blah. Like Spencer got put in over him, and so I think Neil did as well. Like, yeah, it's that's not a good look unless I'm just holding out hope that maybe he's hurt. Like,
I mean, I feel compelled to share that, like, I had someone, I don't know the validity of this person. I'm not going to name them.
Don't attach. Let's preface it. Don't attach me to this.
I'm not attaching Ryan. This is not a Zion. This is not a Ryan. This is independent.
All right, go ahead.
Somebody messaged me about this. I don't know how valid this person's comment is, but he messaged me over a week ago, and he said that he expected Jaden to redshirt this year.
See, I heard something like that, but not about Jaden. I heard somebody on the team was expected to redshirt, and it was going to be announced soon. But I didn't. You can. This is a dumb question because it's obvious you can. You can redshirt in your second year.
I think you can redshirt any year. It's like if you get hurt the first
game,
okay. Like as long as you play less than X number of minutes, fewer than X number of minutes, then you're fine to redshirt. So yeah, I mean that would be an explanation. It's either that or injury, right? But like,
yeah, it has to be. So yeah, I think you might be right. I think that might have been right.
He wasn't hurt Wednesday. I would just be very impressed that this guy was in my mentions and was like, I think Jaden's going to redshirt. And I was kind of like, nah. And then he played in the exhibition and I thought he shot the ball pretty well. And I was like, nah. But then he doesn't come in today at all.
Yeah. A part of me does say, like, no, this happens more in the NBA where it's such a blowout. You don't want to put somebody who, is maybe competing for a rotation spot
But then there's times though. It's not like he didn't have to play power for how many minutes did Power end up getting?
Yeah, 8.
Yeah, but
8. Yeah, like and like I'm fine with Power getting those minutes. Obviously, it's just like he had opportunities to play him if he wanted to.
Yeah, I
don't know the situation.
But Zion, it's also worth pointing out the quote that Jaden had that I retweeted earlier today. Let me find it. But like, he sounded like he's just a Duke lifer. He sounded committed.
Yeah, I saw that.
Regardless of minutes, regardless of role, like he wants to win a championship at Duke. Now that can change if things change, but like. But I don't know, man. Like maybe he just loves Duke and he's down to fight and he doesn't think he's. I don't know. I have no. This is all speculative. I have no clue.
Yeah. This is all speculation. But for me, if this is not like attached to anything. I'm just like speaking. But if he is redshirting, I don't think he's redshirting to stay at Duke. I think he's redshirting to keep a year of eligibility so he can leave and still have a year of eligibility. Because I personally don't see somebody redshirting, and then with the class we have coming in, with TJ possibly still coming back, with maybe a guard or two coming back.
Zion, I agree, but the quote says, "I came here to Duke to win a national championship and be a part of winning. I've never left anything in my life. This is my team. This is my home."
Yeah, I don't. You
say that as a guy.
That's a big statement. I don't know, man.
In a primer, and he said that.
But wait, when did he say that?
Like
it was a Devil's Den like interview or whatever. Or it was a quote that they pulled. Let me see if I can find the source.
That quote would be in the last few weeks. No, it was a quote that they got. I just think they waited because they were doing a preview. Anyways.
Yeah, he said, "I had a lot of mornings getting work in, trying to improve my game, get shots up. I've been eating a lot more to put on weight and get up a lot of reps." I mean, maybe he thinks more strength would help. Maybe he thinks that because he's not a guy who's going to leave early. I mean, even with next year's team going to be really loaded, I mean, guys like Isaiah Evans and presumably VJ Edgecombe, if he chooses to come to Duke, they're one and done candidates for sure, right? Like maybe
Isaiah may not be.
Maybe if he redshirts this year, he's a sophomore next year. He gets to compete against the best. Then as an upperclassman, junior, senior, the following 2 years, maybe he sees more of a role there. I could see that as a possibility. You'll still have Khan in theory. You'll still have Darren Harris in theory. Like there's still a lot of dudes, but like I don't know. I just loved that quote and I love the shot. I love that he loves Duke so much. His initials are JS. Right? Like I think he's a guy who would love to stay. He definitely did not need to say that. I agree. So
yeah, I think it's to stay. I think it's to get him so he can be here as long as possible. And I don't think we're getting rid of Schutt.
I would love to keep him.
Things change, man. That's why that's why those are dangerous quotes because environments change, opportunity changes. Then you get a call from Florida. Yeah.
That you get phone rings, Florida, right? That phone. He sees that phone.
Well, hey, that's not sourced to anything. That's just us, talking. It's interesting though. It's interesting to get a DMP in this type of game because.
Put up Megan's comment.
What? No way. Is that real?
Sire say he. Okay.
I mean, I'm gonna look that up. That would definitely give credibility to the red shirt thing. Actually,
that'd be wild.
Okay. Whoa. Okay, we got some. Let me see if I can find the interview.
I'm
he did. Duke Report just tweeted it out. Said everything is good between he and Jaden. He has a long road ahead of him, and he will keep the rest of the details private.
Maybe Also, maybe he's going through some stuff. Also, I don't know. That's all speculative. But I don't know, man. I heard again. It is weird that last week before he played in the exhibition, I had this guy come into my DMs and say, "Dude's gonna redshirt," and I was very surprised by it, and I didn't give it any credibility at all, frankly. To the guy, if you're listening to this guy, I'm sorry for doubting you if that ends up happening.
Blow it up for the people.
But
this
yeah,
is interesting.
That's an interesting development for sure.
Well, someone says source might get.
Yeah, if that happens, then I'm starting to doubt that he'll be the breakout player.
Dang, bro. Dang, just like
not this
that.
Year.
No.
Maybe not this year, a future year. I'm just a huge believer in the guy, and I really, really want him to win a championship at Duke and be a part of a championship team because he's awesome. But yeah, maybe the breakout won't be this year. Maybe I'm early. I was early on Proctor a little last year. Maybe I'm a little early on how much I love Stewart this year. Maybe I'm a little early on Schutt as well. Maybe I'm a guy who just gets in a little too early. I'll be that.
That's an interesting. That's just a really though. Wow, I didn't expect that. I did not expect that. That quote.
Quote's wild, dude. Like
he could have just said, "Oh."
He could have just said he was out due to a personal matter. But I don't. Like, it was.
I think that's an allusion to a red shirt, man, or like an extended absence. It can't be anything other than that.
But saying is a long road ahead of him, and they want to keep the details private. Calls it out that it's like something else just besides we're going to red shirt him.
Yeah, but it's not injury. It's not injury.
No,
because he would have said it.
They would have said it. Yeah,
they would have been vague with it, but they would have said it. So this is crazy.
Let's not let this distract from the fact that Sean Young, the actress from Ace Ventura: Pet Detective, should be higher in the rotation. Sean Stewart should be higher in the rotation. Let's not let whatever this is distract from that very glaring fact.
Do we still? No, because he
would
take
Church League champ. Put up Church League champs comment. He says, or she, I don't know, a red shirt to transfer, give him another year to play somewhere else. Probably. I mean, that's true. But you could also have he could transfer today, or he could have transferred a couple weeks ago and been eligible probably by spring semester somewhere else.
Nah, but that's what I told. That's what I told you a couple of weeks ago. He doesn't gain anything from that because they're still going to a new program where you have to learn the system, you have to fit in, and you're still likely not going to play. So if you could stay another year, get another year of Duke education, get another year of Duke facilities, practice against some of the most talented players in the country, you're going to stay another year and then just get your year of eligibility back.
I mean, unless he's miserable and going through something. I don't know that that's true, but
Yeah, but that's the thing. We don't know what this private details are. So, all this is speculation. It could be something, maybe that pulls him away from basketball. Maybe it is, but if it is,
wish him nothing but the best. Something's going on, man.
Yeah, we wish you the best, brother. But yeah, let's get
Russ
back to
needs you, man. He really needs you right now.
Yeah, Russ needs you for his steak not to be the coldest steak of what does this say? Caleb Foster passing of the keys after a year of maturation with Proctor and Roach is going to be beautiful to see. Nah, Caleb Foster he's a monster. Caleb Foster is a monster. Him getting downhill is it's a bucket or a foul every time.
Yeah, he's the one I think I said one of the ones I'm most excited about on the team, and just watching him play on in high school was interesting because he did these things in high school. That was his main ability, was getting to the rim and finishing, and that was on full display tonight. That first step is so quick. I had somebody point that out to me, and then I saw it for the next time. I was like, that is so fast, and he's just super explosive. So I'm interested to see if there's a change, not before next game, but in one of the other bye games that we have coming up, where Foster doesn't take McCain out of the starting role for just to try out that rotation.
I think they were talking about that. Yeah, I was talking about that on the broadcast today. I think it's going to be McCain for the rest of the year, and because I think Foster's just better coming off
could
the
be
bench.
six man of the year type of guy. That just knows his role. That could be.
The one thing that I will be interested to see going forward with McCain and Foster. I mean, obviously McCain didn't play as much tonight, but 0 assists for either of them tonight. They definitely both are more in score mode. Now, part of that is because Proctor's here and certainly because Roach is the secondary creator right now. But if one of them, either of them is going to be the point guard next year, presumably for the squad that we're going to have, it'll be interesting to track how their passing and creating for others develops over the course of the season.
Yeah, I agree.
I kind of get the sense that Foster is looking to score when he gets the ball, and that McCain might be surveying a little more. I think Foster is rim focused, which he should be. He's great at it. But like that's kind of why the idea of McCain and Foster both coming back is sort of exciting. The theory that McCain is sort of processing, surveying, and Foster is the scoring option there with a couple of wings and Flag, or with a wing, Flag, and Stewart, I mean, is a really exciting proposition.
For sure.
Shout out to Connor for complimenting me. That's the best way to get a shout out on this show, is to compliment me.
What did he say?
He said, shout out to me for saying that Flip looks comfortable in the rim protector role. Yeah, it's not like he's going to swap 5 shots a game or whatever, but he's going to be big. He's just going to be a big dude who knows where to be. And I thought he was pretty good tonight at that.
Wally disagrees.
Well, Wally can sit and spin. No disrespect, Wally, but I think you're wrong.
They ain't know you. We love every Duke fan in the chat.
We do love every Duke fan. I'm just happy to talk some shit with some of the Duke fans that are in here. You know, it's fun. Yeah. It's fun.
One thing we haven't talked about. Where did Ryan go? Oh, let me see. I didn't kick you out, brother. You did that yourself.
No, I said I lost connection.
Did you want to talk about Mark Mitchell?
Yeah, Mark Mitchell. We haven't talked about Mark Mitchell all night. Randomly out of nowhere, had me panicking, man. Let me get to the tweets.
Dude, Zion, I wish we could pull up the group chat with your messages. Your man was panicking before the game, dude.
Bro, I had reason to panic, bro, because I hate when Duke is so like vague. Like, just tell us what it is. Like we found out from the broadcast what the injury was. You could have just
literally.
said it.
Yeah, right. But that's happened before, dude. I forget which one it was, but like it's happened before with like injuries that just come up. It's like I just hate that, and I think his @ on Twitter is like Brotherhood CBB. He tweeted that out too. It's like I just the no respect and transparency with fans when it comes to injuries and in college sports, and specifically Duke basketball, is so frustrating. So frustrating. Like it I get it from a couple of different strategic standpoints when it comes to your opponent and everything, but I just hate that we find out a half hour before the game. Like there's so much at stake besides just like fanhood here. If people are betting on games and stuff, so it's like yeah, whatever. It just would have been nice to know that he was questionable or like a game time decision. They don't have to do it, so I guess I get it. But like, man, that's frustrating.
Yeah, I did. Go ahead, Russ. You about to say something?
I'm just glad he didn't have a boot, man. That's all I care. I looked for that boot. There was no boot. I was like, all right, he might be okay. We need him for Friday and Tuesday. We need him more for Tuesday than for Friday. Tuesday we got Malik Hall in there. We've got the young kid Core. Obviously Booker's going to be playing. Yeah. Real athletic, big, strong dude. They've just got a little more size and athleticism with the versatility. Arizona's got like Keyshawn Johnson from San Diego State, but he's not like a huge scorer. They've really got like Ballo and then like the people who want to run, right? So like we need him for that too, but especially for Tuesday, we really, really need him. But he didn't have a boot, so I feel okay.
Yeah, he didn't have a boot, and I heard from someone in the arena. They said he was moving pretty
Sources.
well. So it wasn't really a source. It was Duke Reports. I just DM'd them. Shout out to Duke Report. They said he was moving without any pain. So I think Friday he'll suit up. If I had to guess, I think he suits up Friday. And we'll have Mark Mitchell, and we'll go back to our. regular lineup.
Yeah, they said he was 50-50, right? So, I mean, the sprain couldn't have been that bad. Maybe just a tweak and they call it a sprain, or it's just like the most mild version of it. So, yeah, we'll get him back, man. It'll be good. But yeah, Zion was ready to call the season quits today, man.
Nah, bro, I was mad, bro.
You don't see Zion pretty rattled.
He was
I'm usually level-headed. I'm usually level-headed, man. But like, yo, I was like, yo, we did not just hyped up this whole season for it to be ruined by some pregame thing. We didn't even know what happened. Like I was looking at the injury report. Jeff Goodman was tweeting all the injury reports today. I look at Duke. It says, I think it said, I think it was blank or something. I was like, wow, that's the first time we're going into the season and no injuries, no nothing.
Psych.
Come on, man.
Yeah, man. We need Mark to get better. Get well, Mark. Going to be a huge part of the season. I said an episode or two ago, if we lose Proctor for any amount of time, like we do have people who can handle the ball, if we lose Flip for any amount of time, that would be really hard. But we do have guys with size who can get interesting. But once we lose Mark Mitchell, it's like Sean Stewart or Ryan Young, right? Like there's not a lot. If we're not playing Sean Stewart more than 10 minutes a game, then there's no substitute for Mark Mitchell. Like we need him in there. Period.
That's
it.
We got.
Sure. No, go ahead. I'm done. I said enough about that.
What are you about to say? Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Nice. That wasn't going to be a bad thing. I was just going to mention the comment that you might have put it up and somebody said that he would have played if he was 50-50 tonight. Like if it was Arizona, he would have played tonight type situation, or if it was March, he probably plays. But if March isn't available for a couple games, like I really, really would like to make sure that we see more of Sean Stewart. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
It'd be huge. It'd be huge.
All right. So now we gotta talk to Duke, Arizona, huh?
No, let's talk let's leave the preview to last. What about Ngongba, right? Like let's get a huge signing, right? And people probably want to know about what we think about Edgecombe.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of became expected as the week went on. Yeah, he's been a big friend of his teammate Darren Harris over there at Paul V. Like it's just that pipeline has kind of just been very friendly to Duke these last few years.
Harris was there at the announcement, which I thought was super cool.
Yeah, just awesome. He sent me that picture of them when they were 13 playing for the Fairfax Blue Devils. Which was awesome and cool for it to come full circle. But yeah, great get. I mean, I don't think people should like tamper expectations a little bit. He's more of a borderline 4-star, 5-star. He's risen up the rankings like crazy this last year. So he definitely could move up there by season to end. But like great player, great get. And this class, man, is shaping up to be as special as they get. And VJ Edgecombe's going on a visit to St. John's, I think, next weekend, and then we'll know some more about that one. But I know Duke is heavily in play there.
Yeah, Wally, I think it's Ngongba, right? Is there not is there Jackson is
Travis Banham said it. Yes. But it is Ngongba. It's Ngongba.
I watched
it. Travis Banham said it during the announcement, and I was like, it's Ngongba, not Ngongba. Yeah.
Okay. I saw an interview that he did with somebody in high school, but admittedly, that person might have just said his name wrong. But I was following what somebody said in front of him. So Adam Rose says Ngongba. Okay, great, Patrick Ngongba, love it. Either way, I mean, hopefully, maybe we'll get to talk to him in person one day on this show, and then he can clarify for us. That would be great. Yeah, I saw a lot of people sort of saying he's the presumed starter. In my opinion, Sean Stewart is the presumed starter at the 5 next year. But everybody knows that I love Sean Stewart. I think when you have that many wings and you have McCain and Foster, especially, I mean, we saw Foster today. Holy shit, he wants to run. He wants to run. Like that team is built to sprint. And I think Ngongba would be a great addition in terms of having that size. We need somebody with that size as Christian Reeves comes along, having some big bodies to throw. But
Sean Stewart will be there, and Stewart and Flagg have good chemistry already. They're familiar with one another. And I love Darren Harris, dude. He's awesome. He's the best. He loves Duke. He's a big, and he follows me, which shows great taste. So I think that, I think this class, if we get Edgecombe, not a sure thing with Patino, waiting in the wings, obviously. But if we got Edgecombe, definitely on 247, it will read as the best Duke class that Duke has had since 247 started tracking, which is pretty wild to think about. And it basically just boils down to, do you think that Zion, Cam, RJ, Trey class, where it was 4 of the top 15, do you think that is more important than having 5 of the top 20, with Cooper Flagg being the number 1 guy, right? It's which way do you go? I think the metrics at 247 will think it's this class with Flagg. But either way, it's the winning at the end of the day will determine which one is the best one, right? But either way, it will be tremendously exciting if we can have all of those dudes come to the class. And if Cantu sticks and is here, that would be tremendous. We need his shooting on that roster to supplement with the guys that we'll have. I mean, it'd be great. It'd be great. I'm very, very excited for the following season.
Design any recruiting takes?
No, man. I'm tired of talking about the class of 2024. So y'all got it in. Whatever y'all say, I agree with, man. I tweeted it, man. I'm moved on, man. We already played our first game, so if Edgecombe commits, we could talk about it. But I'm ready, man. This team right here that we got right now is a championship roster.
Do we want to preview? Do we want to preview the next game and talk about our sponsor?
Yeah. First off, I'll say Dylan Harper is not coming to Duke. So whoever keeps on saying Dylan Harper, he's not coming to Duke. Yeah, man. Start us off, Russ. We don't got anything to share, at least on the screen, right?
Yeah, we don't have. Unfortunately, we don't have anything to share tonight that I received, but we'll have stuff in the future. We have a sponsor for this show. I'm super, super excited about it. Shot Quality Bets. Right, a lot of people aren't the best at understanding basketball. Casual fans, certain ACC head coaches, but if you are ready to elevate your analytics and most importantly, your betting game with the power of groundbreaking technology, Shot Quality Bets is here to revolutionize the way you make your predictions and picks. They harness the best data in basketball, utilize advanced computer vision and AI to create unique, highly predictive data that fuels projection models. It's like a high-tech assistant that compares razor-sharp predictions against the lines, giving you the edge to win more games. Maybe they could have helped me last year when I lost that bet to Ryan on Houston versus Miami. If I'd had Shot Quality Bets, maybe they could have saved me the $100 worth of beer. We've got an exclusive offer. Join Shot Quality Bets now. Get 10% off with the code CRAZIE, CRAZIE. Just visit shotqualitybets.com/welcome and use the special code Crazie, CRAZIE. Get ready to experience the thrill of victory with shotqualitybets.com, where technology meets sports analytics to give you the winning advantage. How about that?
Well done.
Well done, man. Hey, but that also reminds me, not really a sponsor, but we do have a code. A lot of y'all see
save that for the end. We just did the ad read for Shot Quality Bets.
No. Because you said crazy, I'm going to remember.
What are we doing here?
Because you said because you said crazy. I know a lot of people want these jackets that are coming out tomorrow at home field. If you use a code, the code is crazy. I'll type it here. If y'all use crazy, like right there, crazy.
Sure.
You can get discounted 15% off on home field. They got big Duke jackets dropping them all. They got Duke gear everywhere. But yeah, that's just to get that
Crazy at home field, but even more importantly for now, crazy at shotqualitybets.com. It's crazy everywhere.
Anyway.
Just any website, type in CRAZIE and you might get a discount, right? Like just try it. Just try it. It might work. Shot quality bets there were a couple of things as we start talking about Arizona that came from the preview that Shot Quality Bets is going to put out for the Duke Arizona game that I'm going to retweet later once it's published. But we got the advanced scoop. I want to share a couple of things I thought were really interesting here, and I want Zion and Ryan to talk about it as well. The big thing that we're going to talk about, obviously, is Filipowski versus Ballo, right? People have underrated for forever Filipowski's defensive prowess. We talked about that on the show a number of times. Shot Quality Bets has flipped last year's performance, 92nd percentile in steal rate and 88th percent in block rate. The man creates turnovers in a way that big men just don't, right? So, I mean, Zion Ryan, I don't know how much y'all watched Ballo, but like that's obviously the marquee matchup here. Does Duke have what it takes on the inside, right? After a sort of a dicey rebounding performance here, are we going to be able to match up with the big man here?
Can you play them? Zion, I want to get your thoughts on this part of it. Is just going small, like trying to play as small as possible in that situation, just space. And you don't have to play. You can play small even with Flip on the floor, but just trying to space them out there, get Ballo to have to guard the perimeter, tire him out more, and just kind of create those mismatches that Arizona can't afford to have.
Were you asking? Did you just ask me a question? I couldn't even tell.
Yeah, he was asking you, but I could also field it if
can we go to small ball and space the floor if we have Mark back and Flip at the 5. Like I feel like that lineup can space out Ballo to the point where he's going to be a defensive liability that they just can't afford to have.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like for the most part, Ballo, and this is kind of what goes back to I think Derek. Shout out to Derek on Twitter. A lot of people are too focused on how we guard other people.
Yes.
When it's how would teams guard us? Like how is Ballo going to guard a team that's playing up and down, a team that's playing 5 out? Flip is on the perimeter. And he's chasing them around because where he struggles is guarding in space. That's typical. That's typical for all African bigs for the most part. I can put that label on them. You know, I know African basketball.
All right.
Hey man, I'm an expert in African basketball. So yeah. You know, a lot of the issues.
Canceled,
not
bro.
Wrong, man. I worked with the Nigerian team, bro. Like I know, but like a lot of people are focused on how is Duke matching up with people, and that's a problem in itself because like this is the number they're the number 2 ranked team for a reason, and the biggest thing I think is our ability to be versatile, and at this point offensively I think is our ability to space the floor, play with pace. Obviously we didn't see that tonight because we're missing Mark, but a lot of the time I think it's going to be how can teams match up with us. And if they're beating us inside, if they're pounding us down low, we have matchups. You know, we could throw Ryan Young in there. We could throw Reeves in there. Like, you know, we're very versatile, and I'm not worried about a team beating us with any size. I'm not a team beating us with speed because I think we could match up with any team, but teams have to match up with us first. Is the biggest thing, in my opinion.
Yeah, Ryan, answer your question about the tire him out. I mean, another great stat from Shot Quality here is that the Wildcats were 21st in tempo in the country and 20th in tempo last season. So Ballo's used to having to play a sprint style, right? But I do think that pulling him away from the rim, and to Zion's point, this is why Zion and I and you, Ryan, have advocated for Flip at the 5 for forever, because generally speaking, centers are not as good at doing their job if they have to defend away from the rim. And so if he's not as effective, then what is he going to do, right? And the reason why I brought up the Flip defensive stats is because I think that Flip is underrated at that job. If they try to throw it down to Ballo and do post-ups, I think Flip has the size and the versatility there to maybe he'll get beat from time to time, but he's going to also turn him over some time to time, right? And I think that that's going to be absolutely huge for Duke. And obviously the other thing that we have to talk about, of course, is the return of Caleb Love to Cameron. It'll be interesting to see whether it's a very different Caleb Love. Another great shot quality stat here that I know Duke fans are really going to enjoy. He scores by volume rather than efficiency. 58% of his possessions last year, according to shot quality, ended in a shot ranked in the bottom third relative to every possession in college basketball. 58% of his shots would have ranked in the bottom third of quality shots in college basketball, right? That's
wild.
But that was also with Hubert Davis coaching. And Tommy Lloyd is a really good coach and an empowering coach and a different coach. I don't think he's just going to completely turn Caleb Love loose the way that Hubert did. I think he's going to try to have Love play within a structure. And so if you do that and he plays a little more under control, I thought that Athletic, did you read that Athletic article where it was kind of a like Caleb Love redemption story? I thought it was pretty interesting because he shit on Hubert Davis a lot, kind of.
Oh, I read some of they pulled some
the stuff that I was posting. But
yeah.
He sounded like disappointed that UNC fans were mad at him for chucking up bad shots because he genuinely felt that like his role on the team was don't stop shooting, like keep putting up those shots. And I kind of don't doubt him that Hubert was like, hey, we don't want you to stop firing. Keep firing, right? So it'll be interesting if here Tommy Lloyd's got him in a different world. It will be Proctor guarding Love almost certainly. Hopefully not Roach guarding Love. We've seen that story before. We don't love it. No pun intended. So what do you guys expect from Caleb Love's return to Cameron Indoor Stadium?
Zion, you go first.
I mean, he's going to be animated. And he has, from what I've seen from Arizona, he has looked much better in that offense.
He has.
And I checked today, they scored 122 points.
They run, dude. They run.
Like they're going to play up and down too. So like it's going to be very interesting to see how we guard them. And I'm going to be very interested to see if we're switching because that was the biggest thing we saw in the exhibition consistently with our small or starting lineup was switching 1 through 5. And that could work to some degree, but Caleb Love and a high-paced offense with a green light can either give you a 2 of 17 game or a 9 of 12 game where he goes off for 30 points. So I don't know. He's always an up and down guy, and but he's always a guy that kind of shows up for Duke. So it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, he likes getting the fire in the spotlight. Wait, put up Willie Gaskin's comment because I think it's interesting. It says Arizona starts 6'2", 6'4", 6'6", 6'7", and 7 feet. I think we match up well. The issue is less about the matchup down the line, which I think is true, assuming that Mark Mitchell plays. If Mitchell doesn't play, that's a very different story. It's less about that and more about if we're switching everything, then the guys who are like 6'4", like Caleb Love, for instance, then have the opportunity to switch on to Roach or maybe to switch on freshman McCain, where he's going to have an ISO advantage in those scenarios. Now, I don't expect Arizona to play a ton of half-court, like, slowed down possessions. I do kind of think, again, maybe that's what Duke tries to do. That's what a lot of our guys are more comfortable with, and it would set the tempo. It would put the ball in our court. But I also think that Duke is kind of designed to run. So I think it's a really interesting schematic problem to try to solve.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what Shower comes up with for that because you just tell this year's team. So I guess we had Mitchell out, but running has just not been the forte of his short tenure so far. So seeing if he's going to try to slow down Arizona as much as possible or if he's going to try to run with them. I think it's going to be the former. I can't see us trying to go toe-to-toe in a race with them. But yeah, I think you try to slow it down on a team who relies on it. If you're a team that doesn't have to rely on it like Duke is, you can take it slow. You can afford to do that. But so I think that's a strategy you take.
They have enough.
It would play into their, like, they've been playing so fast the entire time that they've been there, and we haven't, to Ryan's
exactly.
point. So, like, I do think it kind of, much like Zion said, it's not about us, like how we match up with their style. It's what we are doing. I do kind of think if we chose to run, even though I think this roster is tailor-made to run, it is kind of playing the style that they want to play. And so then what
that is true.
Stylistically, it would be interesting.
Yeah, I will say, I mean, they do have an athleticism edge on us from pretty much almost every position. When you look at Caleb Love, Boswell, Keyshawn Johnson, Barlow, they're athletic, they're fast, and they're skilled. So
they're a really good team, really good, well coached. I mean, they know what they're doing. I mean, the tournament stuff notwithstanding, I think they're really good. Willie says, I think McCain starts out on Love. I do not think that. I would be really surprised. I don't know what we do if we start Proctor, Roach, McCain. That is a really interesting question of what do we do. I would assume Proctor starts on Love, but then where do you put Roach and McCain? One of those guys is probably guarding someone who's like 6'6" in that situation, which doesn't feel promising. Maybe it's more of a Foster game. I thought Foster acquitted himself decently defensively tonight. So it is a home game. You said that's going to give the young guys a boost for zone. Oh, you mean our young guys a boost against Arizona or Arizona's young guys?
I think that's what he means.
I think it's our young guys because Arizona's they're pretty experienced.
We just know that Proctor has played well against Love in the past. Proctor put Love in the hurt locker, the hurt Proctor. You could potentially say. So I just, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I would go back to that well, and then dare some of the other guys to beat you. Love is unfortunately just one of those guys, as we have unfortunately seen, where once the ball starts going in, the rim gets very large. And even if he's taking bad shots, they start going in. So don't even let him get started, right? Just take him out of the game and force the other people to beat you and see if they can. And you know what? And if they still can, then fair enough. But don't let Caleb Love get hot and then just go for 30. That's just not what we want to see.
This will be, I think, I mean, other than at Arkansas, I think this is our best test in the non-conference slate. Obviously,
I still kind of think Michigan State is the bigger, neutral court Michigan State.
I think this because number one, you're playing a veteran team. I mean, most of their guys are veterans.
Michigan State's got a lot of vets, dude.
Michigan State's got a lot of vets, but I wouldn't necessarily say they're great vets. Tyson Walker is good. We've seen Tyson Walker a lot. He's up and down. AJ Hogarth is up and down.
I think Walker and Hogarth have been better players to date in their career than Caleb Love has been.
I won't do all that because Caleb Love has had his lows, but he's had really high highs. So,
3 weeks of good basketball.
And the skill set wise, I still give it to Caleb Love. But you still have Barlow. You still have Boswell. I think it's the second year. Keyshawn Johnson from San Diego State.
I hear you.
They got players. So
they also went. I mean, they got beat tonight, but they went 1 of 20 from 3. I think I saw. So expect them to come out next week. And,
Michigan State, you mean?
Yeah, Michigan State was 1 of 20 from 3 tonight in the loss to James Madison. And so, not saying that I expect us to allow them to shoot lights out from 3 as a lot of past Duke teams would when teams are coming off struggling shooting nights. But I think that's a big thing is just, the guard play. And I think they're still a solid team. It was just a fluke off night at home. It happened to us a few years back to a team I don't want to even name because it gives me the creeps saying it. So
that's a big fluke result. I didn't realize they shot only 5%. That's a hard
from 3. Yeah.
I'll just say in terms of pure talent, I think Arizona is probably the most talented team we're playing in the non-conference slate. Maybe all year. But
the team that is the best in the non-conference slate will be the best team that we play all year. That's definitely true.
No, but I mean in terms of talent. Just pure talent.
I think Baylor is probably underrated in that respect as well. I think the Baylor game kind of gets we've forgotten about. Like,
I think we'll forget about it because it's so far back, and also it's at MSG. So like we kind of not that we pencil in wins at MSG, but we do.
Yeah. I hear you. They also have dudes. I mean, and they got some draft picks in there. I mean, like they've got some real talent. Yeah, I'm interested to see the Arizona game since it's at home. I like Arizona. I also kind of like Willie Gaskin's suggestion of throw Blake's in there against Arizona, man. Just let him piss people off for like 15 minutes of that game. You know what I mean? Just throw him in there. Like,
just make sure
players is going to want to punt the ball in the stands after Jalen Blake's puts his hand on the ball every time he tries to pass it. You know what I mean? Like, he will lead the ACC in deflections if he plays a mere 12 minutes a game. Like it's unreal. He touches the ball when somebody's trying to move it. It's unreal, you know?
Oh yeah, I got you, Wally. Enough looking at Caleb Love. Just have to put that in there.
Mark pointing out that Carolina started Paxton Wojcik over Elliot Cadeau. I also noticed that today, and I think it was very interesting.
Yeah, I'm Carolina. We'll get to them eventually in February, but yeah, they're not putting fear in my heart.
Mullen, St. Mary's won by 90 against a D2 team. Holy moly!
11 points in the first half and 17 points in the second half.
They play slow too. That is ridiculous.
Yeah. I did see shout out to Justin, shot quality friend in the chat.
Is Justin here? What up, Justin?
Yeah, put the eyes.
How was that ad read, Justin? I put some energy in it. I put some verve.
You sound like a Hollywood writer, that's for sure.
Yeah, man. If anybody's listening on audio, they would just assume it's a commercial, like one of those, like you just play the commercial clip.
Yeah.
That's a compliment. I'll take that. I like that. I also I like shot quality. Shot quality is an interesting it's an interesting metric, an interesting thing to like discuss and talk about, the concept that good shots will generally win games over time, and not always if you take the better shots will you win those games. It's it helps you understand the game a little better, I think.
Which I like. Apparently Elliot Cadeau's mom.
She tweeting?
He only got 19 minutes tonight.
Sheesh. Drama over there. Anyway.
Wait, she's tweeting, dude? I want to see these tweets.
Oh no. They reached with that one. I was 16 hours.
Oh, they're reaching. Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Willie reaching, man, trying to start nonsense, man. But yeah,
Willie, I respect you mixing it up in the comments. You're trying to stir it up. I respect it. I respect it.
Yeah, Willie. Appreciate you though, Willie. The crazy code doesn't work for what? Shot quality or home field?
Well, it won't work for home field now because the jackets aren't on sale yet, right?
Yes, but the code is supposed to work on home field if not yet tomorrow. Whatever code. Oh, he said shot quality. All right, yeah, hit Justin up.
Tweet it. Shot quality bets about that. I know that because this was the first game and there were a gajillion games going on at once. I know they were having a little bit of technical difficulty, so maybe it has to do with that. Justin, I don't know if you're still in the live. I'll also shoot him a message, Blue Dookies 8. But try again tomorrow. But yeah, it's a really cool site to poke around, and definitely having the discount is great. It's always great to save money when signing up for a cool site. So
yeah. But definitely I'll change a little thing here. Definitely use Crazie on home field. Crazie. I'll say it one more time. Crazie on home field. You can get discounted Duke gear and all of that apparel and stuff. But I think that's it for us.
Zion is crazy. Is it for home field? Is it? Do caps matter?
I think it's a capital C.
But is it
let me check
the lowercase everything else?
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so maybe that's it. Blue Dookies 8 because for shot quality bets, it is all caps crazy.
Oh! Let me read. No,
Yeah,
it's all crazy. It's all crazy.
Zion.
All caps.
All caps crazy. We're a professional endeavor here.
Crazy.
All caps crazy. Blue Dookies 8.
All caps crazy. Get your home field gear. Get your
Again, I don't know.
quality.
I'll double check with the shot quality people before Friday's episode. We'll talk shot quality again on Friday. But if all caps matters or the capitalization matters, we'll have that clarified by Friday. But either way, if it's not working today, try it again tomorrow because it's been a crazy day of college basketball for everybody, including sites like Shot Quality Bets. So
yeah. But we appreciate y'all. We will be back after Arizona on Friday night. Big game. The
Huge.
big game start. That will be big game number 1. Then we got MSU on Tuesday. So we'll be back for both of those shows. We appreciate y'all. Duke is 1-0. Yes, we talked about the class of 2024. Enough about the class of 2024.
If you want to hear those, listen to it on Apple Podcasts. Download on Apple Podcasts and subscribe and leave a review while you're there.
Right.
As Russ said.
Yeah. Well, appreciate y'all. We'll be back on Friday. Go Duke.